Hi, everyone. Welcome to our call tonight. It is our second Thursday, which is our new team training night. And tonight, Melissa Martin and myself are bringing to you the topic of committing to your business, committing to your Plexus business, and what exactly that means. So I want you to ask yourself this question. And when I say ask yourself this question, don't just, ask yourself, but truly ask yourself. Are you committed to your Plexus business? Are you committed? Truly, truly committed. So often, people join us on this journey and say they want to be an ambassador and say they want to be successful and that they want to make a career out of this, that they want to go to Hawaii, they want to drive that Plexus Lexus. But I can tell you the difference between those who want it and those who have it is commitment. Many people often think they're committed to being ambassador, but committing to something isn't just doing it when and where you can. It's like truly making the effort, truly committing to something is doing it and making it happen, taking that action. If you sign up to be an ambassador and commit, you should easily be silver in 7 days, 14 days, 30 days at most. I will admit I wasn't truly committed to this business when I first started. I was lucky that I'm a goal setter, and that's how I keep my life in check. I set goals for myself, and I had set the goal for myself to turn silver in 30 days. I wish I would have set the goal to turn silver in 7 days. But when you're new, you don't quite get the impact of our compensation plan and how important the power of 3 really, really is. I think if you ask many of the leaders on our team what they wish they would have done differently or what they wish they would have known, it would have been to become committed even earlier than they did. The problem with committing to this business is that you often have to step outside of your comfort zone, and you have to do this more than not. And many people are attached to comfort, safety, and simplicity. These values are so important, and they are what provides the safety net in our everyday lives. But to truly grow as a person, to truly grow in this business, we have to find an area of our life where commitment supersedes our comfort. Commitment is what spurs us on to take action and to give 100% to achieve it, all while putting aside personal gain and recognition. Being committed is a willingness to do whatever it takes to fulfill your dream and to follow through on a responsibility. It may not even be what we most enjoy, but nonetheless, being committed means we are going to do it regardless. We're going to make it happen, and we will alter other things to make that commitment possible.
Totally. Like, you have to have a no matter what it takes attitude. Once you make 100% commitment to something, whether it's financial freedom, reaching diamond, quitting your job, etc., you're not going to make excuses. It's going to become a non-negotiable, done deal with no other options. Once your desire to succeed is so powerful that it's all you think about, that desire becomes commitment. And that's when you stop dreaming and wishing, but you start doing whatever it takes to make it happen. No excuses.
Absolutely. And that's why we so often preach having that why. If you have an end goal in mind or a reason that motivates you, that pushes you toward that result, your dream, your why, it is so much easier to step outside of that comfort zone, outside of that safety net that you currently have, where you are in your happy little cocoon. So regardless of our mission and our direction in life, whatever that may be, there are 3 keys to staying committed to your goals. And these are as follows. The first one is sacrifice. This is so important to knowing we're committed. It's when we're willing to make sacrifices in order to achieve those goals. We're willing to give things up. We often talk about how we gave up TV when we first started. Like, we took that time and committed it, or video games, or games on our phone, or, reading fiction books, whatever it was. Those are the things you sacrifice to work your business, to fit it in and not disrupt your everyday life. Commitment through sacrifice really relates to the concept of loyalty. Do we stand by our commitment even though it will cause us interruptions in other areas of our life? Will we maybe miss one of our child's soccer practices because we need to go to an opportunity meeting. If we are willing to give up the convenient and comfortable options to take a little more challenging path, there's a good chance that you're committed to this journey.
Oh my God. You know, my children are grown now. I mean, they kind of do their own thing. And, you know, I miss so much of their childhood by working for someone else that I wish I would have had this opportunity where I could have sacrificed different things besides missing the important things. You know, sometimes it's easier to lounge on the couch and veg out in front of the TV, especially when that's what your family's doing. But if you make a commitment to achieve something great, you need to make the sacrifice. You know, if you haven't reached out to your 5 people today about the opportunity, checked in on your customers, or strategized with team members, then don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow and I'll just do 10 people. That one day leads to another day and then another. And before you know it, you've sacrificed your business instead of those things that don't matter, like watching TV.
You know, that's really true. That's like the people when they stop going to the gym. You know, they don't just one day say, I'm no longer going to the gym. It's like, well, I'll just skip today because, and then that one day turns into 2 days and 3 days and 4 days. And it's easier to skip than it is to go back. So, you know, that time is going to pass anyway. Why not make it count? Why not use it to reach your goal? The second thing is purpose. To have commitment, we must find meaning and purpose behind the goal we are pursuing. We all have our whys and we all have our reasons. Maybe it's financial freedom for your family. Maybe it's to retire your husband. Maybe it's to stay home with your kids. Purpose is similar to passion, and developing that passion that spurs us on is half the battle of achieving our goals. If you have that passion, there's not much that can hold you back. It's what drives us forward. And without purpose and motivation, it becomes so much more difficult to maintain that commitment. You know, when you start changing lives, when you see your friends and family members have success, either health or wealth or both, you know, in those areas, it becomes a passion. And I became addicted to it at that point. When I saw lives change because I introduced Plexus to them, I became addicted to this and it became a passion to me. You know, many people on our team have underlying personal issues that they deal with on a daily basis that not many of us know about. And to be able to help them overcome those issues or give them a way to combat them is so inspiring. To do things that maybe people don't visually see or know about, but for you to know that there are great things happening under the surface and you are helping that along is so it's so inspiring. It's so uplifting to know that you can provide some things for people that otherwise wouldn't have these items.
Hey, when you talk about passion, before I started Plexus, I was in school and I had this professor that would at the beginning of every class, you had to say who you were and what your passion was. And I remember the first time I sat in her class and I was like, God, I don't know what my passion is. Like everybody was going and it was getting close to me. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm a mom. And she's like, no, what is your passion? Like, what do you do that fuels you, that makes you get out of bed every day? Like, what is it that drives you? And I was like, God, I don't really have anything. I don't know. I mean, I'm just existing. And now I have a passion. Like it started with the commitment to change lives and to see that. And then it became the passion to leave my job and the passion to give my children better than I had. And now it's other things. Like you have to find your passion. You have to pursue something bigger than yourself and something that drives you. And that just makes you even more committed to what you're doing.
Right. And it's, you know, it's so important to have your own passion. I love my family. I love my husband. They have their passions. My oldest daughter cheers, and I know your daughters dance. And you see those moms that they don't really have a passion of their own and they live vicariously through their children. Yes. That's great if that's their passion. But it's so important to have your own passion, something that you truly wake up in the morning excited to do, you know, not to live through somebody else's passion. And the third thing that helps with commitment is your determination. Determination and commitment go hand in hand. There's going to be setbacks along the way to achieving success. We all know that. You know, and without determination, overcoming these roadblocks is so much more difficult. It takes being bold and courageous to face the uncertainty, the fear, and the discomfort of branching out of the ordinary and into the extraordinary. You know, making a definite decision to be committed means you must take action. This means potential excuses must be accounted for ahead of time. And there can be no more waiting for that perfect moment. You can't wait until the kids go back to school. You can't wait until you're off work for the summer. You can't wait until you move to the new state. You can't wait until your child graduates from high school or college or whatever it is. You have to take action now. You're just delaying it and putting it off if you are waiting for that perfect moment. We all know there's no such thing. And you must continue to take action despite resistance. There is always, always, always going to be some type of resistance, no matter who you are, what you're going through, no matter how much money you have, no matter how many children you have, no matter if you're married or divorced or whatever it is, no matter who you are, you're going to have some resistance that you have to deal with, and there's always, sorry, let me fix this. There's always, like I said, some sort of resistance. And what's funny is there are always those days when I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this today. But then there are those days when I get into a take no prisoners attitude. I mean, I get so determined. I am like, today is happening, and I'm reaching out to every single person on my Frank's list. Instead of saying, when I get in that mindset, so instead of saying, oh, you know what, I'm only supposed to reach out to 5, so I'm just going to reach out to 5, and tomorrow I'll reach out to 5 more. I go for it. There are days I've spent 5 hours at my computer reaching out to people, and I still may not reach out to them all. But when I have that feeling, when I have that motivation, I, really, really make that effort. And it is so easy to find that excuse to hold yourself back. It's so easy to say, well, I really don't have 5 hours to sit at my computer. And maybe you don't, but don't let those excuses play in, and like I said, in my book, there's no such thing as an excuse. It's all about your priorities. You don't ever, ever need to tell anyone, especially me, why you can't be somewhere or why you can't do something. You just need to say, I won't make it. If you won't make a call, I'm not going to be able to be there. I don't need to know why, because we all have the possibility to make an excuse. I could have made a million excuses not to be on this call tonight. It's all about priorities and where you need to be and what you need to do. I don't need to tell you why I can't be on the call. If I can't be on the call, I can't be on the call, because that is my decision as an adult to change the priorities for that evening of what I hope to accomplish. I see those who don't want to step out of their comfort zone. They use those excuses, and they use them as a crutch and a deterrent to make them not have to work as hard, to make them not have to make that effort or take action.
Gosh, I agree with you. When you say you don't have to tell me, there is one thing that drives me insane, is that when there's something going on that, we feel is important or a reason why we want to share it, and then there's an excuse posted. Don't do that, because all you do is set the tone for your team members to see that an excuse is okay. And it's not. Like, sometimes you can't do certain things, and that's okay. But whenever you put the excuses out there, then everybody else wants to follow suit. And, I've heard it said so many times, and I have read it so many times, and I know a lot of you have too, but you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. And honestly, in the time that it takes for you to make an excuse and share it with someone, you could have done something income producing. Your upline doesn't want to hear the excuses. We all have things going on, and we can all choose to do something other than what needs to be done for the success. But if you truly want the success and it's just a reason to not step out of your comfort zone, you don't have room for excuses, period. You can either have the success or you can have the excuses. So you have to decide.
Absolutely. And like I said, you make your choice. You don't have to say to me, I can't make the call because I'm signing up at potential. If your choice and your priority is to sign that potential, then that's all you need to say is I can't make the call. To me, maybe my priority isn't signing up a potential. Maybe my priority are calls. So if you're trying to justify your actions by doing that, you need to think why you feel the need to justify your actions. So why is it harder for some people to commit than others? Most people are afraid of failing if they try something new. We know many people who sign up to duplexes or would sign up to duplexes if they weren't scared, if they didn't have that fear. Your brain tells you your life is better where you are. You're safe. You know what your comfort zone is. You know what you need to do. You don't have to do anything that might incite some fear. But I encourage you not to listen to it all the time. Sometimes you need to try something new, even if it means you aren't successful the first time. Thomas Edison failed one 1,000 times before figuring out how to make a light bulb. Now, where would we be if we didn't have light bulbs right now? I just want to say. But when asked why he didn't give up, his famous reply was, I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that making the light bulb didn't work. Do you have that mindset? Do you have that mentality? Are you committed enough to something important enough to you that you could fail 1,000 times before finding a way to make it work? What would that look like in your life if you had to try something 1,000 times before it would work? Would you give up long before you reached your goal on everything that you tried because you wouldn't go that long on something? Or would you persevere? Would you just keep at it and at it and at it? Would you have the patience and perseverance to talk to 1,000 people if that's what it took to get one new team member? Ask yourself that question. And how does being committed affect your potentials? You sure aren't going to have customers and ambassadors who stick around if you aren't committed to helping them achieve success. If you're wishy-washy in your follow-up and trainings, if you don't have a passion and excitement when you share with them, it's very likely they won't find their own. If you are not presenting yourself with that happy, positive vibe, you're not going to magnify that to them, and they're not going to reflect that back to you. So if you're having difficult time with those potentials, if you keep trying and trying and trying and it's just not clicking, maybe take a look at yourself and how you're presenting and what you're saying, and maybe get a little bit of help on that.
Oh my gosh, yes, because people are attracted to passion and excitement because they already have enough of the ho-hum life. They need something different. They need excitement. And they're going to be attracted to those that are committed to a cause and a process. I've had so many people, and some of you are on this call, say to me, I'll join you after I see that you stick with it. Or I've even had people say, the reason I finally joined is because I saw you weren't going to quit. Guys, people quit stuff all the time. Don't be the majority. Be the extraordinary that refuses to give up and be committed and be committed to yourself and to your own success.
Absolutely. And so often, I know this is probably true with you also, so often people are like, it's been 4 months and I haven't, I had 10 people saying they're going to join me for the last 4 months. I've had people watch me for years. They have watched me from day one, and then they're finally ready 2 years in, 2.5 years in. So don't expect everybody to just, jump right in and be ready to go. And you have to be patient and realize that you have to continuously work. You can't just talk to 3 people and expect them to sign up instantly or expect them to sign up within the next week or so. So let me ask you this. Can you answer yes to these questions when it comes to your Plexus business? This may help you assess your commitment level. 1, it doesn't feel like work. If you have a life's work, it is not a job. It is a way of living. Your work enables you to create the lifestyle you want for yourself, and your lifestyle will include your work. You frequently stop and think to yourself, I do this all the time, wait, am I seriously working right now? When we're on trips to Hawaii, when we're at leaders retreat, when we're at convention, when we're at a lunch together as ambassadors, does it really feel like working, or are we having a great time? Because we are working. You can hardly distinguish sometimes between work, play, and life if you are truly doing your life's work. They're all intertwined in everything that you do. And you are constantly pursuing your vision of optimal living. Number 2, you are willing to suffer. So passion comes from the Latin word pati. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but which means to suffer. Your life's work is less about following a passion and more about your willingness to suffer along the way. The journey, we all know, will be immensely challenging at times. And that's kind of what separates people in this business. This business isn't for everyone. And it's a shame because there are so many people that I know would be great at this business, but they get started, they hit the first hurdle, and they're like, well, I can't do this. It's not for me. It's just not my thing. So, you have to be ready to face those challenges. You'll be exposed to unexpected challenges and setbacks, and you're going to endure hardships, rejection, sacrifice. These roadblocks will motivate you. In fact, you will see short-term pain and discomfort as tremendous opportunities for learning, growth, and depth. They are critical to appreciating the beautiful and joyous moments. Number 3, the people who matter notice. Guys, how many of you, since starting the products, have had somebody close to you say, you look amazing. I have never seen you look so healthy, so happy. This is without question what you are meant to be doing. This is your life's work. If you hear those things, you're on the right path. You're where you need to be. And it is radiating to all of those who see you. Number 4, you fall asleep fulfilled and ready for tomorrow. So you go to sleep every night grateful for that day and what you accomplished. You know you're on the right path. You gave the day your all, and you can't wait to do it all again tomorrow. This is your life, and you cannot imagine living it any other way. And number 5, commitment is an honor. When you discover your life's work, the question of commitment is easy. There is no hesitation as to whether or not the work is right for you. Your heart says yes. You feel it throughout your entire body. Your mind says yes. Your body says yes. Commitment to your work feels like breathing. You cannot imagine spending your time dedicated to any other purpose, doing any other thing. So I ask you to walk away and decide your commitment level to this business and see if you are honestly 100% committed to success. Make this business a priority. It should be, and fully commit to it. So many times there are ambassadors who have great potential, who work hard, or who have the ability to work hard, but they just don't commit. They just don't go that extra step and commit to this business.
God, and it's so sad too, isn't it, when people don't commit to it and the first little hurdle or roadblock, they throw in the towel and they just give up. And we wouldn't give up on our family. We wouldn't give up on our children, our spouse, whatever. But why do we so quickly give up on ourselves? Like, don't do that. Be committed. I want to share a story with you that I heard at convention last year, but I've also read it in several books. And it's a story about a pig and a chicken. Okay. So the chicken says to the pig, "Hey pig, why don't we open a restaurant?" "Good idea," says the pig, "but what do we want to call it?" And the chicken thinks about it for a minute and he says, "Why don't we call it ham and eggs?" And the pig is like, "I don't think so. You'd just be involved, but I'd be committed." So there's a difference in just being involved and being committed. Every day we see people that look like they're committed, but they really are just involved. They've started a business, but they're trying. Guys, I can't stand that word trying. They're just doing enough to look the part, but they aren't really committed to themselves or the business. They aren't doing, they're just trying. The reflection on this is you have to understand that commitment is a mindset. It's a decision. So what will you decide for your future? Will you be committed to your own success, or are you going to be committed to your own failure? You hold all the cards and you will decide how your life story goes.
Absolutely. I mean, if you truly want to commit to this business and you are not yet silver, then I challenge you to make that happen within the next 7 days. And when I say that to people, some people are like, "Oh my gosh, think about it, guys. It's 3 people. 3 people. If you are telling me you don't know 3 people in your life who trust you enough to commit to something that you are passionate and committed to, then you need to reassess some things, because I just cannot see that happening. You can do it. If you haven't turned silver and you've been an ambassador for a few months, you need to look at what you're doing and find out what's holding you back, because there's something underlying there. If you are silver, but you're not growing at a regular rate, and I say regular rate because we all grow differently. We know everybody's journey is different. Some people may add 15 new team members and personally sponsored in 1 month. And some people, if they add 1, that's a big accomplishment. But if you are not regularly doing what you do, you need to figure out why. If it's very sporadic, you need to figure out why. Don't say you cannot get anyone to jump on board and join you. I mean, I hear this all the time. I just can't get anybody to invest in my thoughts. I just can't get anybody to jump on my team. I just can't get anybody to commit with me. So don't say that ever again if those words have come out of your mouth, unless you are doing the following. You are reaching out to at least 5 new people each day. That is 150 people a month. Now, if you're doing that and you're doing that well, and you've already had some help with your presentation and what you're saying, then let's talk about why nobody's jumping on with you. But that is commitment. That is making it happen. And that is bringing success to yourself. Start implementing the 3-way calls, the 3-way messages, the Zooms, the small Zooms with the new people, whatever you need to do to connect those potentials. Your upline will help you. Somebody in your upline will help you. We all want you to be successful. And you can be successful, but you have to decide to commit, and you have to decide how much you're going to commit, what you're going to do, what your threshold will be. Like I said, I wasn't completely committed to this business when I first started. And then I realized what it held and the potential. And that's when I went all in. And that's when I committed. And I said, I'm going to do this and nothing's going to stop me. And you really could not have stopped me at any time. It was going to work no matter what I went through. And I went through some horrible trials and tribulations, and I must have heard no a million times, but we've all done that. All of the successful people have heard no more than you have. I can guarantee you. So when you guys leave this call, set a goal for yourself to commit. And even if it's just to commit for the next 30 days, do 60 days or do 90 days if you can, but commit to go all in and work your business like you have never, ever, ever worked it before. Sit down and make your plan and just give yourself that time. And I promise you, you will be amazed at how different things will look for you, at how different the outcome will be for you and your success. It works, guys. Trust me. When people step up their game and they come to me and they say, oh my gosh, I thought I was working until I started really working. I mean, it is amazing to see the difference. I mean, Melissa, do you not see that in people when they really step up their game, when they realize that what they were doing was busy work instead of actually working and being active? It completely changes their mindset and their business outcome.
Oh my gosh, that has happened for me personally. I mean, there's some months where I feel like at the first of the month I'm working, and then when I really evaluate what I'm doing, I'm like, God, you're not working, you're wasting time. Like, work. And I finish the month off strong, and I definitely see when I'm really working hard. I can see it in my own personal growth because, I mean, I'm just like everybody else on this call, just like you are. I'm still recruiting. I'm still trying to get new customers. I mean, I'm still working a plan every single month. So you just have to be committed and go all out, and it is so worth it. Like, if you could just make people see how much it is worth it.
Absolutely. And don't expect you may commit for 30 days. You may reach out to 5 people a day for 30 days. Don't expect that overnight your business is just going to boom and take off. It's possible, but more than likely you're going to plant those seeds, and 60 to 90 days down the road is when you're going to reap all of that. It usually comes the month after you really, really blow it out of the water and you really make things happen. But guys, like Melissa said, you hold all of the cards and you decide how your life story goes. You decide your level of commitment. So hopefully this call has helped you guys. Hopefully you have or will take a few moments with yourself and just ask yourself how committed you are, what you're willing to sacrifice, how determined you're going to be, what your purpose is going to be in this business, why you are doing this, and why you don't want to be successful. Either way, whatever you are feeling, decide today what you're going to do, how you're going to commit, and how many days you will go all into your business and commit from there. So anything else, Melissa, on your end?
I just want to share something to make everybody feel better. Today, I had a goal to reach out to 25 people today. I reached out to 25 people. The first 15 told me no. I was like, oh my gosh. Instead of being discouraged, I let that fuel me. I'm like, I'm not getting all no's today. So I reached out to more people, and I finally got a few yeses today. So I get told no just like you guys do. But I choose not to let that discourage me. I let that motivate me, because the more no's I get, that means the closer I am to my next yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's just, we've all been there. We've all done that. So don't think you're the only one getting no's. Everybody gets no's. It just depends on how committed you are and how much you persevere past that point, like Melissa says.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for joining us on our call, and we will see you later. Good night.
Bye, guys.